Entertainment. I want you to hit the like button. Make sure you sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications so that you're able to get all of my content as well as all of my videos. Okay. I want to give a shout out to the whole Lions Den, both basketball as well as boxing community. I also want to give a shout out to all of my subs, both my day ones and as well as my new subs as well. All right. Um, Now, as I promised earlier, okay, I know there was some people that weren't in here. What's up, Brown Sugar? I see you in here, beautiful. I know there was some people um, that might have missed what I had said um, as it pertains to, uh, and I'm gonna just go ahead and say a name because it's starting to gain traction now. But the girl's name is Kaylee Gang. Okay, um, people are talking about it. So uh, now, as far as the other girl's name, they haven't said anything, not to my knowledge, not unless anybody else knows anything. But Kaylee Gang, as you know, is the 15-year-old girl who had gotten into a fight, had her head slammed into the concrete or whatnot, um, and you know, they showed the footage and everything. It's all over the internet. It's viral and everything. And earlier I told you that uh, the mayor wants to not only pursue uh, legal action of the highest extent towards the 15-year-old that slammed her head into the concrete, but he also wants um, that girl to be tried as an adult, and as well as the other people that were out there, because he sees them as being participants in there because they were all fighting as well. Uh, what's up, Ron? I see you in here, bro. Now, um, as you know, the other girl is being held in St. Louis County facility um, with no bond, uh, and I know, sweetie, and I'm gonna get you caught up on it and everything. Um, I did not want to show the footage, because I seen it. Shout out to Willie D. He's been on this. He was on this from the beginning, and then he had actually, had talked about it on his channel and everything. And then of course, brother Ron, he wanted me to talk about it, and I kind of wanted to stray away from it because it was such a sensitive thing. But after I got more details about this story, I felt the need to talk about it. Now, what ended up taking place is these girls squared up. They squared up. If you look at the video, they squared up. Like, they squared up as if they're getting ready to fight and everything. However, the media tried to play it as if it was something completely different, right? Um, if you look at the video, you'll see that clearly. Um, you know, Kaylee, she swung on her. She got her hit, but after that, it was all she wrote. And then also, we also have to realize that her friends were trying to jump in too as well. Okay, in that case, anybody would be in survival mode. So, I'm looking at it from a standpoint of her, being jumped and all that other stuff, and her protecting herself. She's in survival mode. You got three other, 2 to 3 other girls trying to jump in and stuff like that. So you got to think about what's going through her head. But in the meanwhile, she, finishing up, with her fight with Kaylee. Now that, of course, you that's when you see her slamming her head Well, she was punching her too, but also she started slamming her head on the concrete or whatnot, Um, but the thing about it is too, is that the media is trying to play. They're trying to demonize this girl. Okay, now what they're doing is they're saying, "Oh, it's such disturbing footage," and making her look like this animal and stuff like that. Because the girl was white and she was black and everything, and they're saying that she's in critical condition and stuff like that. They set up a GoFundMe. At one point, the GoFundMe was at 120K. Now it's topped at 280K and counting, probably even more than that now. Uh, but the thing about it is what they're not telling you, okay? What the media is not telling you, they're telling you that there has been excessive bullying and around the area, which and the high school name uh, is Hazelwood, okay, and that's in St. Louis, Missouri. All right, it's Hazelwood um, High School. Um, but that's the high school in which they said a lot of bullying was going on, but they didn't say it as a way to really try to tell the true story. But the real story is that this girl has been jumped, and I'm talking about the one that's in custody right now. Her and her boyfriend, Kaylee, the one that's in critical condition. Her and her boyfriend have tried to set this girl up and tried to, bully her constantly. She's been jumped before, and finally she just got fed up with it. And that's why I said earlier, if you go back and you go listen to my stream earlier, what I said is we are all taught, at least I know I was taught, that in order to get, a bully off of you, you know what I'm saying, you attack that bully, and then also you beat a bully down to the point where nobody messes with you anymore. And nobody's gonna mess with you. Nobody's gonna mess with you anymore if you you pretty much beat the shit out of somebody, and you make an example out of that person, and that's what she did. Okay, now there is a thing called, of course, reasonable force, um, in which, okay, and that's why I brought up martial arts earlier. In martial arts, of course, they teach you to, of course, down your opponent and everything, but it's also a sign when you're competing, in various martial arts, or even in certain other combat sports. It's a sign of disrespect in other cultures to keep just beating your opponent down and stuff like that. I think martial arts would have been good for the black girl. You know what I'm saying? That's not to say that she could not fight or anything like that, but I think she was just so frustrated, and all of that anger, and it went to another level. And I was also saying that when it comes to a female, like I said, they're just as competitive as men. Okay, we got to understand that when it comes to a female nature. And now, I'm not a female, you know what I'm saying, and I will never know what it is to be a female. I just know that when it comes to them, they're just as competitive, if not more competitive than a man. And also, one thing that you also got to understand is that they get real emotional, of course, and those emotions can spiral out of control to a point where you can't even do anything. And that was that case right here. And on top of that, she might have blacked out too as well. Also, not to mention, a lot, a female's pain threshold is much higher than a man. Okay, so that's why, I stated earlier that a man would never be able to give birth to a child because that's a pain that um, nobody, no one can handle, especially a man, being a male. But what I wanted to talk about though is in the case, and I spilled on it a little bit, but we have to look at it as what if the tables were turned? You wouldn't have the mayor trying to put $10,000 to cover medical expenses and stuff like that, and trying to charge them to the full extent of the law, or try them as an adult or anything like that. I guarantee you that if the tables were turned and it was a black girl sitting up there in critical conditions or anything, there wouldn't be any of that shit. I can guarantee you that. Sometimes even if you have to stay in control of your emotions. Um, if she was a martial artist, believe it or not, she would have walked away. That's how much discipline we must have. Yeah. But in a case like this though, she was in survival mode. So listen, I'm gonna tell you like this. It was either her continuously get jumped, okay? But well, see, you can't win either way because okay, you got the thing where you got registered hands and feet and stuff like that or whatever. And I'm just saying, let's say if she was, involved in martial arts or whatnot. In this case, she's not though. Okay, and in this case, she's constantly being bullied, constantly being picked on and stuff like that. You have to make an example out of out of a person. And I'm not telling her to do that quite to that extent. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, we're not in that young girl's mind to. You can't tell a person how to engage in combat. Okay, if that makes any sense. Okay, especially when it comes to survival mode. You're not gonna go. The only thing that you could do is you could try to break the fight up and everything to the best of your abilities. You know what I'm saying? But there are some guys that spiral out of control. I'm talking about guys and girls that spiral out of control, and there's really, there's some people that black out, and then really you can't do nothing because when some people get hit, they people react in different ways. You might have a guy that might get hit, and he'll just be like, you know what? Okay, let's go ahead and do this. But then you have a guy that gets hit, and guess what? He wants to end your life. You see what I'm saying? So we can't sit up here and say, okay, yeah, well, self-discipline and control and all that other stuff. It's easy to say that until you in that person's shoes. And in this case right here, you have to place yourself when you were 15, when you were 16, when you were 17. You know what I'm saying? These are minds that are not developed. You know what I'm saying? Now, as an adult, okay, yeah, you probably do have a little bit more self-control. Um, but besides that, what I'm looking at it as is, okay, what if the black girl was in the condition that Kaylee is in? All right. I guarantee you the outpour of support that Kaylee is getting right now, it would be non-existent for that black girl. Yeah, you'll probably see the black girl, you know what I'm saying, getting support and stuff like that from the fake ass organizations that want to try to come there. They just doing it as a publicity stunt and all this other stuff just so that they can gain more attention for themselves. You know, when you really have people out here that are really trying to do stuff for our people. You know what I'm saying? And we know what organizations those are. I'm not even gonna mention it on here because of YouTube. You said yes, Paul, age does matter. Well, no, I'm talking about that. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is she's 15. your mind, okay, you got to think about when you were 15 and what age you are now. That's what I'm talking about. Her mind is not fully developed. You know what I'm saying? Still, she's not even an adult yet. You know what I'm saying? She barely, probably not. She's probably a sophomore in high school. So you're gonna make them mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she should be tried as no adult. You know what I'm saying? Now, if she ends up dying, unfortunately, hey, um, then we're talking about a whole nother conversation. But like I said, let's turn the tables. All right, we have to flip the tables around, and let's put the shoe on the other foot. Let's vice versa this thing, right? If Kaylee had done this to the black girl, you know, let's look at it from that angle. And that's the thing that we're not seeing. Everybody's like, oh, oh, I feel so bad for her and stuff like that. What if she would have hit that girl with something hard, in the midst of her being jumped? What if that girl would have fell and hit her head in the midst of being jumped? You ever look at it like that? That's what I look at it as, because there's a lot of risk that you take when you jump a person. And then on top of that, you got to look at all them kids that was around and stuff like that. This is another thing too that pissed me off too. In that situation right there, the last thing I'm gonna be doing is pulling out no damn phone and shit like that, because I'm gonna be worried about if somebody gonna be trying to attack me. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Ron. I'm with you 100%, man. It's because when you're young, you want to prove yourself. You know what we got to realize, man. In high school, what's important? What's the most important thing? Status. Okay. You crazy if you think the law gives a fuck about a black person life. If you think well, that's what I was saying. You got to understand. Let me let me repeat it. This is what I'm saying. I'm with you 100%. Okay, I'm with you 100%, and that's why I said, what if the shoe was on the other foot? The media is demonizing this black girl. Okay, now you have the councilman involved in this situation. If this had been, okay, the black girl in that situation, all of this stuff would not be happening. Okay, and right now I'm looking at it from a standpoint of, where's the support of these so called celebrities and all these people, that people talk about, like the LeBron Jameses and like all these other people, to try to come in support of this black girl. Now I know that they're probably gonna look at it like, oh, okay, well, she slammed the girl head in the concrete. She shouldn't have did that and everything like that. But hey, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. What do we talk about all the time? About we talk about mental health and we talk about fentanyl. But what's the one thing that they always talk about too? That they always have these campaigns about bullying, right? That's what they talk about, right? Right? But see, we don't want to. See. We want to run away from subjects like this. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to. They want to hear something good. You know what I'm saying? They want to hear what sounds good to the ears and stuff like that. But I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to give it to you real. You know what I'm saying? And if nobody can handle that, that's on you. But it's a real situation. You know, it might piss some people off, but we got to understand, what if that was a descendant of yours, a sibling of yours that was in the hospital in critical condition? I guarantee you they would not be having the same sense of urgency for us. It would be some of our people. You know what I'm saying? But it definitely wouldn't be what you see now. You know, topping off the uh, the GoFundMe at 280K. We already know what. Nothing has changed over the years, so we know, and it's about to be ugly. Well, the thing about it is you know, now you have some people out here, and see, what's funny is it's not even a race thing, really. It's a race thing, but it's not a race thing, because if you look at the video, Brown Sugar, um the black girls was hitting the black girl. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you know what I'm saying, she was dealing with a black guy or whatever, and they tried to jump her or whatever. So we can't necessarily look at it a race thing, but when you look at it and you really break it down, the only thing that they're showing is what? The black girl on top of the white girl. You know what I'm saying? And had it been the other way around, then we would have we probably would have lost our cool and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Been giving people the side eye that we always been giving them and stuff like that. But in this case right here, oh yeah, you want to try her as an adult. You want to give try her to the fullest extent of the law, stuff like that. Not realizing that she pretty much instigated the whole thing. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If if I got 3-4 people coming at me, you best believe I'm gonna be in survival mode, because you got to get out of there, and you don't know what them guys can do. If you on the ground and they stomping you, and you getting kicked to the head trauma and stuff like that, you can die from that. I hope people like LeBron and them fight for her though. They the white girl, wanted to fight. Uh, well, that's probably not gonna happen. Okay. Uh, and to be honest with you, I mean, we want to sit here and we want to believe in these celebrities to be there. You know, they might have billions of dollars or whatever, but the harsh reality is it has to benefit them in order for them to go ahead and um, help. You know, regardless of how much of a role model and a leader we think these guys are, stuff like that. But there's probably some people behind the scenes that we don't know, that's probably helping and stuff like that, that aren't NBA players, that aren't entertainers, actors, and all that other stuff. You know, but I seriously doubt it. You know what I'm saying? I seriously doubt it. It's just like now, okay, they want to try to, with the whole Russell Simmons thing. I know this is a little bit off the topic, but Russell Simmons is being sued. But guess who immediately comes to the rescue? Is celebrities like Taraji P Henson, and Usher. Oh yeah, they're gonna do everything they can for the majors, but they're not gonna help. They're not gonna help the people that are behind her. She needs the help, man. from whoever. So I'll put it to you like this, man. Um, this situation right here, if she gets tried and she gets tried as an adult, then you're gonna have to try, because at first right now they were talking about assault. Okay, if she gets tried, then they're gonna have to dig in. I'm gonna dig through the archives, and we could go through a whole long list of innocent kids that have been shot. Some of them have been murdered. Okay, we could talk about the fights to where innocent people have been beat up and put in critical condition. We could talk about senior citizens that have that have been abused. Okay, and you're letting some of these people get away with that stuff, and we could go a long list of stuff right here. But you're talking about these two girls that are the same age, okay, and she just so happened to be in combat, and on top of that, she wasn't the only one that was out there instigating the whole thing. When I talk about the girl Kaylee Gang, the only thing that they're looking at is that girl that's laying on the concrete and stuff like that, shaking. How they the media try to make it look so bad. Oh yeah, she was shaking and all this other stuff. Well, okay, well what if she was shaking? You don't think that girl was paranoid about possibly somebody pulling out a knife or something like that? Or pulling out a heavy object and just hit her in the back of the head or something like that. She was in survival mode. They're not gonna help all these people worship them. That's crazy to me. And mad with, yeah, that's what I was saying. Sugar. No, you can don't don't depend on those celebrities being here. Oh yeah, well where's LeBron, or where's this person, or where's that person? I'm not trying to just make LeBron the whole time, but I'm just giving an example. Where's this person? Where's that person? No, because it's not gonna happen. And what they're gonna do is they're gonna do the same media attention like they tried to do for George Floyd. Right, exactly, Brian Sugar, and I'm glad you see that, because listen, you have kids and you're a woman yourself. I tell the women in my family, defend yourself by any means necessary. And like I said, I can't get up there and tell that black girl, hey, wait a minute. No, man, no. She's in survival mode after about 2 or 3 girls attacking her at the same time. So I just wanted to get my little spill on it, one more time for part two, for the people that, didn't really get what I was saying earlier, and also just wanted to go in more depth as to really what's going on as far as the charges that they're possibly trying to bring towards this girl and everything. You know, um, if anything, man, I'm in support of this girl. For what she did. Now, listen, I know it might sound harsh to some people. Some people are gonna be like, "Oh, well, you want that girl, you want something to happen to that girl." No, that's not it. You know what I'm saying? But it's a lesson learned. You gotta watch who you mess with. You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch who you mess with. The quiet ones are the ones that you don't mess with. The ones that you keep on picking on, those are the ones that you got to watch out for, because after a while you're gonna pick on them on the wrong day. You know what I'm saying? And she's lucky that because I know some places where there's little kids packing guns. You know what I'm saying? Because you keep messing with them. So you're lucky that didn't happen. So appreciate y'all pulling up. Make sure y'all like the video, share it, subscribe, hit them notifications so that you are notified. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. I'll get at you later.